Hello, good morning, welcome to my channel and welcome to the south coast of Devon on a cold, beautiful February morning. So those of you who watched my channel before will know that I normally take you out on a hike with me, but today I'm going to try something different and I'm going to take you on a run. This is a run I do at least once a week. It's quite a beautiful little trail, about 5 kilometres, and I wanted you to see a little bit of what I get to experience every week. So let's see how this goes. This is a tough uphill run, so I'm afraid you're going to probably hear me huffing and puffing and breathing heavily. Not sure how pleasant it's going to be for you, but as I said, this is a little bit of an experiment, a bit of a prototype, and I hope you'll think it's worth it because we're sure to see some lovely scenery as I climb up high above Teignmouth, which you'll see behind me, and we'll run back along the coastal path. Hopefully you can see that. Teignmouth and Sheldon down below. Right, the run should get easier now. I hope. Now we run through a pretty little village called Halcombe and then down a steep hill through Smuggler's Lane, down onto the coast and back along the coast. The country lane has some nice views over the Exe estuary, so I hope it's worth you sticking with me, and I should be able to talk to you a bit more now that I have gravity on my side. Took me quite a long time to get across that main road, but anyway, here we are now. That's why I much prefer to take the quiet lanes and paths. Although, as you will see, this lane here gets very narrow, and so you've got to hope, or at least I've got to hope, that the drivers take it steady along here, because I don't want to have to dive into a hedge in order to avoid a collision with them. But you'll see in a minute just how narrow it is. Climbing uphill again, just when I thought the hills were over. I've also put one glove on, the glove that's holding my camera, because it's not much of a freezing today, and my hand was getting very cold holding the metal handle. And here we are again, back out into the countryside. And as seems to be the case across much of Devon and Cornwall, the farmers keep these hedgerows very nice and neatly cut, which is just as well because that maximises visibility. And over there you might just be able to see the river where it flows into the sea, and on the very far side the town of Exmouth. And in front there's a hill, and just the other side of that hill is Dawlish. When I was training for my half marathon, I used to run over into Dawlish and to Dawlish Warren in order to try and get close to 20 kilometres in my running. Since then I've cut back on the long distance runs, and I've opted for shorter, more frequent runs. So I do about 5 kilometres 3 times a week, and this is one of those. But I pick runs that are quite demanding, plenty of hills, so that I really exercise those muscles. Okay, so I'm getting used to my camera. Yeah, I met my surgeon recently, who's going to do my operation for me, and he was a little bit concerned about my weight. So I'm now trying to lose weight, cut out lots of the sugary foods and the fatty foods, reduce my portion sizes. Not sure whether it helps or not, but in the last week I've lost about 2 pounds, not much. But I just want to make life as easy as possible for the surgeon, but also I'm expecting to have my operation probably in the spring. So my goal for this year is to have the operation, get over it, make a full recovery, and run a half marathon before the end of the year. And I think most of the half marathons are probably happen before winter, so I'm guessing I've probably got until about September, October to get myself ready. Now I hope that I can increase my chances of doing that if I lose some weight and get fit before the operation, because I know that after the operation I'm going to have at least 2 months where I can't go running and where I can't do very much at all. So it's going to be a period where I maybe put on weight, although I'll try not to, but where I certainly lose some of my fitness. So I'm trying to do everything I can while I can to get myself ready for that challenging period. But it's really nice to have that goal. It's something to look forward to. And maybe if we're lucky as well, we'll get to have a fairly special foreign holiday before the end of the year as well. That's one of our goals, is to do something nice. Go somewhere we've never been before. Because when you do something new for the first time, you always learn something. I think these kind of experiences are good. Rather like taking you with me on a jog now. I'm sure I'll learn something from this experience. Maybe I'll say I'm never going to do that again, but that doesn't matter, because at least I've tried it and at least I know. Right, I've got to cross the road again, so I need to concentrate and go on to Smuggler's Lane. It's a pretty busy road, this. And there we are. So now we go down the steepest part of the run. So I have to be careful I don't lose my footing down here. Later today, after I've had my breakfast and had a shower, I'm going to go to my book club. So it's last month, it was supposed to be the first time, but I got the day wrong. So I missed the last one, but I read the book. Now I've read the second book and I'm ready for my second scheduled book club, but it'll be the first time I've actually ever been to a book club in my life. I'll just cross past these people and then I'll tell you about it. Good morning, all right. Right, I'll just get onto the path and then I'll finish off what I was telling you. For the second time on this run I've been joined by a dog. Not sure whether you've noticed. Right, up some steep steps that I can't run up. Oh gosh. Just missed the train. Okay, and off we go. I'll just get past these people and then I'll carry on. Okay, so going to my book club today. The book we've read is by Kim Devereux, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I understand she was from, or is from, Devon, so local author. And she wrote a book called Rembrandt's Mirror. Maybe it had a bit of a subheading as well, I can't remember. But I read that book, thoroughly enjoyed it. It was much easier than the last one I read, that was quite challenging. And now we're going to go and talk about it. Let me just wait till I'm past these people. Okay, still not used to filming and talking in front of other people. So sorry about that. Yeah, not sure what I've got to say about this book really. Whenever I read a book, it's quite hard to remember all the details and quite hard to put into your own words what the book is about. I think the thing that stands out most for me are the images that I formed in my brain whilst reading it. So I can picture Rembrandt's house, his studio up in the attic, where his students used to join him, and they all used to do their painting together. The kitchen downstairs where they ate. The views from their house over the canal in Amsterdam. The images of the plague and people painting the symbols on the front doors to show that someone had been infected, and all the devastation and hardship that caused. Their walks out into the countryside, and their descriptions of the trees and the lakes. Wait for this to go past. There's a long train. Yeah, their descriptions of the countryside and the windmills that worked relentlessly to drain the low-lying land from water, a constant battle against the sea because the land is below sea level. Of course, Rembrandt's paintings, and I wasn't familiar with his work, so I had a quick look on the internet at pictures of some of his paintings, so I can see those in my mind, I can visualise them. So I have all these visual images that I really appreciate, and I felt at times like I was living in the 1600s in Amsterdam, and that was nice. But in terms of the actual words that were said and the plots and things, I can't immediately recall them, but maybe when I get into a conversation with other people, the things they say will trigger memories of my own, and we can start to explore it together and draw some conclusions. Because I think it's one of those books where 4 people could read the same book and understand it in 4 different ways. So, enjoyable. I feel like I'm learning and growing through it, and that's really important to me. I really want to improve my English after so many years away from England, speaking a very simple form of English. I think we can learn so much from literature, so I'm appreciating the opportunity to do that. I'm quite lazy when it comes to reading, so it's very helpful for me to have those deadlines forced upon me. And I'm now reading more than I've read possibly ever in my life, so that's great. You know, that's one of the things I want to achieve with making these YouTube videos, is to improve my communication skills, to improve my language, to become a more confident person who can explain things more clearly. And so I notice things when I'm doing the editing of these videos that frustrate me a little. And so I've got myself an app, a brain training app. I've only started using it 3 days ago, but I'm hoping it will help me to think more quickly, think more clearly, and to be able to express myself in a much more engaging, interesting and insightful way. Good morning. And overcoming my fear of making these films in front of other people is also something I need to do. And I've already said good morning to 2 people whilst on film with you, so that's a little bit of progress there. Okay, we're on the home straight now. I'll just get past these 2 people and then I'll turn it around so you can see the beautiful towns of Teignmouth and Sheldon in front. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Sorry, I know I keep repeating myself. But after years of living in landlocked cities and towns, this is still a novelty that I greatly appreciate every single day. Hello. Okay, as I come into the busy town, I'm going to now prepare to finish the video. I hope you're well wherever you are. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate all your comments, likes, your subscriptions, and just viewing my stuff. I still can't believe why anyone would want to watch this, but I'm most grateful. So take care, and I'll post another video soon. Hopefully one from Dartmoor next time. Okay, thanks then, bye.